So the idea behind the series is to really share with you what I'm eating because I get a lot of comments from many of you who wonder if all that I'm eating is stuff that you see on Gourmet on the Road. So let's take a look at what's for lunch today. And what I'm having for lunch today is a very regional, very traditional Karnataka dish, and this is called the Soppina Bassaru. There's so much goodness, so much wisdom, so much nutrition in our regional local food. Hi, folks, hope you're doing well. I've just arrived home for lunch. It's one of those days in Bengaluru where it is cold. It is cold in the sense it's only about 20 degrees or so, but it's a bit nippy. There's a bit of a wind, and also it was drizzling this morning, and so therefore it's a bit dark as well. It's a bit gloomy as well. We have the lights on already because otherwise this area is quite bright. This room is quite bright with a lot of natural light coming in. So on days like this, you want to eat something which is warming, something which is nutritious, something that really makes you feel good inside. And usually on cold and rainy mornings or cold and rainy days, the boss prepares this particular dish that I'm about to eat. So this is not a recipe vlog. This is a vlog about what I eat. I'm sure you'll find the recipe to this dish online on YouTube and plenty other places. So let's take a look at what's for lunch today. Roughly around 3:30 now. My last meal was at 10 p.m. last night. I'm just getting off a 17-hour intermittent fasting window. And what I'm having for lunch today is a very regional, very traditional Karnataka dish, and this is called the Soppina Bassaru. So the Bassaru is actually one dish but has two separate components as you see. So one is the vegetable, the dry vegetable which has the greens and the lentils, and then you have the saru which is the gravy. So basically it begins with the greens, whatever greens you may have, the amaranth or maybe some methi or some harve suppu or anything that you may find. That's boiled with some lentils, some salt that goes into it. And then the cooked greens and the lentils are separated from the water, the liquid of the greens and also of the lentils. And on the side, you have a seasoning that's made with some onions, some garlic, there's some jirige or cumin that goes into it, along with some black pepper as well. And a little portion of that greens and the lentils are also ground with that seasoning. And that is then introduced to a base, usually a tamarind water sort of a base. And that goes into the making of the saru. There's also the water that gets released from the greens and the lentils that gets added to the saru. And that's what makes the gravy component or the saru component of the Soppina Bassaru. The greens and the lentils are then tossed very quickly because they're already cooked in a tadka, maybe some mustard seeds, some curry leaves, some red chilies, etc. to make for a quick stir fry of a vegetable, and that's the dish that you have here, which is the Soppina Saru Bassaru. And that's typically eaten with either some ragi mudde or some steamed rice, which is what I have on my plate right here. And I also have some pickle here. Very nutritious. So there's the greens, so you have the vitamins, you have the irons, you have the lentils, which give you the protein. And the consistency of the saru, it's neither watery nor is it too thick. So it's a consistency of a sambar almost. And the vegetable is quite dry. So it's dry in the sense there is the moisture that of course comes from the greens and the lentils, but otherwise it's a dry vegetable. Anyway, enough talking, let's do some eating. I'm quite hungry. When I'm fasting, I'm perfectly fine. But when I see food and then you begin to smell the aromas, that's when you start feeling hungry. If I hadn't seen this, I could have easily gone on for another couple of hours as well and done a 20-hour fast. But when you see food, the mind sends a signal to your stomach, to your digestive juices that you should be eating soon. So always get plenty of that gravy, some vegetable on the side. So the idea behind the series is to really share with you what I'm eating because I get a lot of comments from many of you who wonder if all that I'm eating is stuff that you see on Gourmet on the Road. Of course, that's a big part of what I'm eating, but when I'm not shooting Gourmet on the Road, I'm balancing my meals with things like these. I can taste the flavor of the jirige, the cumin in that bassaru. There's also some tartness. I think that comes from the Hunse water, the tamarind water. Nothing like having it hot. With some hot steamed rice. And then the masala. So there's also plenty of onions and garlic that go into the base for that saru. You also have the heat, the pungency of the garlic that you can also taste. The greens are moist, and then you have that soft bite of the lentils. I think this is the togri bele, if I'm not mistaken. I always get confused with my lentils. In Karnataka, when they make the basaru, they basically use whatever greens that they have. Also, in terms of lentils, but there are a few things that they keep in mind. So, for instance, when you chop the greens that go into the lentils as the lentils getting cooked, the greens are chopped coarsely so that the greens don't dissolve completely into the lentils. So that sambar is thickened by that base of fried onions, some garlic, some green chilies. There's a seasoning also of some cumin, some pepper that goes into it. You also have some of the boiled lentils and the greens that are also ground with that masala. So that also gives it a bit of thickening and gives it a slightly herbaceous flavor, which in a manner of speaking is a bridge to the wholesome flavor of the greens. We add some pickle into the mix. Nothing like eating a simple, traditional, local meal. You know, there's so much goodness, so much wisdom, so much nutrition in our regional local food. But because it's always there, because they're right under our nose, I think we tend to overlook it or we tend to take it for granted. The rice is a perfect medium to soak up all the flavors, all the nourishing flavors of the saru. And that vegetable comes together to give it a nice bite. So the recipe to make a basaru is quite simple actually. It requires a bit of effort, but it isn't too difficult. If you look up online, I'm sure you'll find many recipes explaining how to do that. And look for the Soppinna Saru Basaru or the Soppinna Basaru if I'm not mistaken. Well, whatever it is, I'm sure you'll find it online. Have a scoop of rice with the saru, the palya, and some red chili. This is, I think, the Guntur chili. Has a bit of toasty heat. I'm quite enjoying this delicious vegetarian lunch. So you will see me eat a lot of meat on the show. I think about 50% of our shows are non-vegetarian. But when I'm home and when I'm not shooting or when I'm not doing a tasting, most of my meals are usually vegetarian. There's also a bit of fresh coconut that goes into the saru and also into the palya, and that gives it that light, creamy sort of a crunch. So that's it, folks. I think we'll stop this vlog here. So I hope you found this vlog interesting. I'm going to be posting things like these, what I'm eating at home, tastings, motor vlogs, basically stuff that I'm doing when I'm not shooting gourmet on the road. If you haven't subscribed to the second channel already, do subscribe and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.